Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can an interface become a child of another interface in Java? Let me answer. Yes, in Java, we can make an interface a child of another interface. Okay, so how can we make an interface a child of another interface in Java? Let me practically demonstrate. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new interface here. I'll just select the interface option. I'll just name this interface as interface A, some random name. Click on finish. And once the interface is created, just for the sample case, I'll create a variable and method. So int A is equal to 9. Now I'll create one method here, public void sample one method. Okay, this is a method which is created inside the interface. Okay, so we have a variable, we have a method inside the interface. Now let me create one more interface. I'll just make this interface name as interface B, some random name. Click on finish. Once another interface is created, now can I make this particular interface a child of this interface? Can I make this interface be a child of this interface A? Yes, guys, it is possible. Okay, yes, it is possible to make this interface be a child of interface A. For that, which keyword I have to use? Do I have to use extends keyword or implements keyword? We have to use extends keyword for a particular interface to become a child of another interface. Okay, beside the child interface name, we have to use extends keyword followed by interface A. Okay, interface B extends interface A. So this is how, guys, we can make an interface in Java a child of another interface with the help of extends keyword. Okay, and this interface can have its own variables and methods. For example, int b is equal to, let's say, 10, and here public void sample2. Like that, I can create. Now I can create one more class. Let's say I'll like to create one class here. Let's say I'll just name that as class. Okay, class X. Click on finish. Now I'll just drag this side. So here we have interface A, and here we have interface B, which is this interface B is a child of interface A. Now I would like to make this class X a child of this interface B using extends keyword. Can I do that? Do I have to use extends keyword here to make a child of interface? No, guys. I have to use implements keyword. Okay, if a particular class has to become a child of an interface, it has to use implements keyword. But if an interface want to become a child of another interface, or a class want to become a child of another class, we use extends keyword. But coming to the class, a class want to become a child of another interface, we have to use implements keyword, guys. Here I'll use interface B. Okay, like this. So just understand, guys. Okay, in Java there are three things. If a class want to become a child of another class, then we have to use which keyword? Extends keyword. If an interface want to become a child of another interface, then also we have to use extends keyword. But if a class want to become a child of an interface, then only we use implements keyword. This is the only case where we use implements keyword. Okay, so now why we are getting error? Because you see class X is now the child of interface B, and interface B is a child of the interface A. Okay, so now if I don't implement this, unimplemented abstract methods of this interface and its parent interface for this class, okay, this is a parent. For this parent, this is a parent. So all these variables and methods of this both interface A and interface B will be inherited by the class X. Okay, so I can access them using system.out.println. I can access. But I have to create a method here first of all. Public void. Okay, sample. I'll say sample. Some method I'll create. And here, if I want to print the variable a system.out.println, I can access a directly because class X is the child of the interface B and interface B is the child of interface A. So it's a grandparent of the class X. So the variable A can be accessed here. And similarly, you can access variable B here, which is from its immediate parent. So B also can be accessed. Now, the next thing is these methods which are just declared and not implemented in this parent interface and its parent interface of this class need to be implemented in this class. Otherwise, this error will keep coming. You see, abstract methods need to be implemented here. So one is sample1 method, another one is sample2 method. Let me implement. Public void sample1, public void sample2. Like this, I can implement. Okay. You see, I implemented, the error is gone. Okay. So the simple question here is, can an interface become a child of another interface in Java? The answer is yes, guys. An interface can become a child of another interface, but by using which keyword? Extends keyword. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what keyword is required to make an interface a child of another interface in Java? The answer is extends keyword. In Java, if you want to make an interface a child of another interface, we have to use extends keyword. Let me practically demonstrate this one for you. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE. I'm going to create a new interface. I'm just going to name this interface as interface X, some random name. And inside this interface, I'm going to create a sample variable and method. Let's say int a is equal to 10. And here public void sample X, like this. Some sample variable and method I created inside an interface. Okay. Now I'm going to create another interface. Okay. So I'll just name this as some random name. Let's say interface Y. And now we have two interfaces. One is interface X and other one is interface Y. Now what I want to do is, I want to make this interface Y a child of this interface X. So here after the interface Y, which keyword I have to use? Do I have to use extends keyword or implements keyword? That's how the confusion begins, right? So if you want to make an interface in Java a child of another interface, we have to use extends keyword in Java. Interface Y extends interface X. You see, error got resolved. But in place of extends, if you try to use implements, you are going to get a compiler error saying extends is expected. Here, you should not be writing implements. Extends is expected. So in what cases? We have to use implements? I'll tell you. So if you want to make an interface a child of another interface, then we have to use extends keyword. Okay. If you want to make a class, a child class of another class. Okay. If you want to make a class, a child of another class, here also we have to use extends keyword. But third case is, if you want to make a class, a child of an interface. This third scenario is different, guys. Here interface becoming a child of another interface, extends keyword. Class becoming a child of another class, extends keyword. But if you want to make a class a child of an interface, class to interface, that connection. Okay. In that case, we have to use implements keyword, guys. Okay. This is the only case where we use implements keyword, guys. A class becoming a child of an interface, then we have to use implements keyword. Okay. So interface extends, class extends, class interface implements. Okay. So in this question, for this question, what keyword is required to make an interface a child of another interface in Java? That is nothing but the extends keyword, guys. Okay. We have to use extends keyword with practical demonstration. I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we make an interface in Java a child of a class? The answer is no. We cannot make an interface in Java a child of a class. Let me practically demonstrate this one for you. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE, and here I'm going to create, okay, a class. I'll just name this class as class M, some random name. And inside this class, I'm going to create some variables and methods. For example, int a is equal to 5 and public void sample M, some sample method I'm creating with some sample print statement inside. I'll say inside sample M method, inside sample M method, like this. I created a class containing a variable line method. Now I'm going to create an interface. Okay. So I'll just name this interface as some random name like interface N. Click on finish. Now what I want to do is, now here I have a class, I have an interface. You can see both together now. Okay, there is a class and there is an interface. I want to make this particular interface a child of this class. Is this possible in Java? Is this possible in Java where I can make an interface a child of a class using some keyword? Let's say extends keyword if I use. The answer is no, guys. Okay, I cannot make at any cost. I cannot make an interface a child of a class. If I try to do so using extends keyword or implements keyword, it doesn't work like that. Okay, an interface cannot become a child of a class in Java, guys. Okay, you see the type classium cannot be super interface of interface. Super interface must be an interface. Okay, an interface can become a child of another interface, but an interface cannot become a child of a class in Java. Okay, so that is not possible, guys. If you try to use implements also, it doesn't work, guys. Okay, whether you use extends keyword, it's not the problem with the extends or implements. Okay, the thing is an interface in Java cannot become a child of a class. Okay, so what are the possible combinations that are possible in Java? In Java, a child, okay, a child class can become a child of a parent class. A class can become a child of another class. Or in Java, a class can become a child of interface. And in Java, an interface can become a child of another interface. But the last one, not possible. What is not possible? Interface becoming a child of a class is not possible. Okay. Above three combinations are possible in Java, guys. Okay. A class can become a child of another class. A class can become a child of interface. An interface can become a child of another interface, but an interface cannot become a child of another class. Okay. This is not possible. If you try to do so, you're going to get this kind of error, guys. Okay. So I'm just going to comment this because it's not possible in Java to make an interface a child of a class. Okay. So hope guys you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. That is, can we make an interface in Java a child of a class? The answer is no. It's not possible. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what keyword is required for making a class a child of another class in Java? The answer is extends keyword. In Java, if you want to make a class a child of another class, then we have to use extends keyword. Let me practically demonstrate this one for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE. Here I'm going to create a class. I'm going to name this class as, let's say, class A, some random name. Click on finish. And inside this class, I'm going to create some variables and methods. Let's say int A is equal to 10 and some method public void sample A method. I'll just write a sample print statement inside this method instead of the entire code writing inside sample A method. I'll say, now I have successfully created a class with some sample variables and methods. Now I'm going to create another class. I'll just name this class as class B. Okay, here also I'll make this class B. I would like to make this class B a child class of this class A. How can I make this class a child class of this class? Which keyword I have to use? The class B, if I want to make a child of this class A, after the class B, I have to mention a keyword known as extends keyword, followed by the class that I want to make a parent of this class B. That is, class A now becomes the parent of the class B because of this extends keyword. So the answer is what? Extends keyword. Okay. The answer for this question is what keyword is required for making a class a child of another class in Java means extends keyword. Now what happens? This class B can have its own variables and methods. For example, int B is equal to 20 is there and some method is there public void sample B. Okay, like this, I'll create a method. I'll just write down system.out.println. Here I'll write down inside sample B method. Okay, like that. Now, if I create one more class, I'll just name this class, let's say as the demo AB class. Okay, with main method I'll create. I'll just drag this here. So now we have class A and class B, which is the child class of the class A. Okay. Apart from that, we have another class. Inside this class, I'm going to create an object for this class B, which is the child class of the class A. Okay. So new class B, I'll say. And here CV is equal to class B, I'll write class B. Okay. Now using this object reference, I can access not only the properties of the class B, that is not only the variables and methods of this class B, by creating object for the class B and using its object reference, I can not only access the variables and methods of the class B, but also the variables and methods of the class A, because class B is the child class of the class A. All these variables and methods of this class A will be automatically inherited by the class B, which is the child class of the class A. Hence by creating the object for the class B, using the object reference of the class B, we can not only access the members of the child class, but also its parent class, inherited members from the parent class. Using cb.a, I can access system.out.println cb.a. Okay. And here system.out.println cb.b. From the parent class, I am able to access, because this class B is a child class of the class A. By creating object for the child class, I can access not only the members of the child class, but also the members of the parent class. Okay. And using this cb.sample A, I can call cb.sample B, I can call. Okay. cb.sample B, I can call. Okay. Like that. Fine. So this is the thing, guys. This is the thing. Okay. This is the thing. So hope you got an idea of which keyword we have to use for making a class a child of another class in Java, the extends keyword. So that's the answer for this question, guys. What keyword is required for making a class a child of another class in Java? Extends keyword. Okay. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what are the different types of inheritance we have in Java? Let me answer. There are 5 types of inheritance we have in Java. They are single inheritance, then we have multi-level inheritance, then multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and then hybrid inheritance. Okay, so what are the 5 different types of inheritance we have in Java? One is single inheritance. Then we have multi-level inheritance. Then we have hierarchical inheritance. Then we have multiple inheritance. And then finally, we have hybrid inheritance. Okay, so let me explain in summary what exactly these inheritances are. Single level or single inheritance is nothing but there is a parent, some class or interface. I'm not saying specially that this is a class or this is an interface. I'll call this is an item. Let's say there is a parent item, and for that parent item there is a child item. That's it. Okay, so as part of the inheritance, there is a child item which is inheriting the elements from the members from the parent item. This is called a single inheritance. Then what is multi-level inheritance? In multi-level inheritance, there is an item, okay, which is a parent of another item. Now, this particular item is a child of this item. Now, for that child item, there is another child item, like that, and so on. Okay, you can have any level of, okay, grandparent, parent, child, grandchild, grandchild's child, and so on. Okay, that is called as multi-level inheritance. Then what is hierarchical inheritance? In hierarchical inheritance, there will be parent and, okay, there are children. Okay, so this child item, there are multiple children inheriting from the same parent. This is hierarchical inheritance. Okay, there are multiple children inheriting from the same parent. This comes under hierarchical. Then what about multiple inheritance? In multiple inheritance, we have multiple parents and there are some child items which are inheriting from multiple parents. Okay, here multiple children and one parent, that is hierarchical. Whereas in multiple inheritance, okay, child may contain multiple parents. Okay, that is multiple. Then what about hybrid? Hybrid somehow looks like this, guys. Okay, so it is a combination of hierarchical and multiple, guys. Okay, when you combine hierarchical and multiple, it will become, so it will like this. Okay, So there will be children inheriting from same parent. There will be some multiple children inheriting from same children, and there will be some children inheriting from multiple parents. It looks like this, okay? There is a child item which is inheriting from multiple parents, and these are the children of a single parent, okay? So here, if you cut this off, it will become hierarchical and the lower side will become multiple, okay? So these are the different types of inheritance in Java, guys. So what type of inheritance that the class supports in all this type of inheritance, okay? Class kind of thing in Java supports which type of inheritance. Interfaces in Java will support different which type of interfaces. I mean inheritance among these types of inheritances. All these things I'm going to not cover in this, because the main answer I have to give as part of this question is what are the different types of inheritance we have in Java. Maybe the child and parent item maybe in class or interface doesn't matter. So at a high level, we have these 5 types of inheritance: single, multi-level, multiple, hierarchical, and hybrid. These are the different types of inheritance we have in Java. In the upcoming interview questions, I may answer this, these different types of inheritance separately. Okay, individually I'll try to answer, and also I'll try to, answer for different questions where which types of inheritances are possible by classes, interfaces, in all these types of inheritances we have in Java. Okay, that I'll cover as part of the upcoming interview questions. Okay, Java interview questions. So hope guys you got the answer for this question. So I'm not going to demonstrate anything, but I have explained. Okay, explain different types of inheritances. Okay, types of inheritances. I explained that. Okay, here with this diagram and all, I explained them what different type of inheritances are and what actually they mean and all. Okay, so in this I cannot give practical demonstration. In upcoming interview questions and all, I will try to give the practical demonstrations, answers, and all those stuff. Okay, I'll show you things in that way. But for now, what are the different types of inheritances we have in Java? There are total 5 types of inheritances we have Java. That is single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid interface. Okay. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. So, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, explain single level inheritance in Java. Let me answer. There are different types of inheritance we have in Java. They are single level inheritance, then we have multi-level inheritance, then we have hierarchical inheritance, then multiple inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. In that, the first type is single inheritance, where there will be one child item. It can be either a class or interface, is inheriting the members of its parent item. Okay, child inheriting the properties of a parented item. That's it. Okay, no more. This is a single level only. Okay, so let me explain more about that. So single level inheritance, a class or interface inheriting from its parent class or interface is called as single level inheritance. So what is possible, what is not possible in single level inheritance, I'm going to tell you. So as part of single level inheritance, a class can become a child class of another class. Okay, here a class can become a child class of another class. Okay, and coming to the next possibility of single level inheritance is a class can become a child of an interface. And third possibility is an interface can become a child of another interface. But only one possibility is not, only one way is not possible. One item is not possible. That is, an interface cannot become a child of a class case. Okay, a child can become a class can become a child of an interface, but an interface cannot become a child of a class. Okay, reverse is not possible. Only these 3 things are possible as part of single level inheritance, and interface becoming a child of a class is not possible. But remaining all combinations like class becoming a child of class, class becoming a child of interface, interface becoming a child of another interface is possible, except this one where interface cannot become a child of a class. Okay, so let me practically show you the single level inheritance. So for that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new. First, I'll show you the first variety of inheritance, that is single level. That is a class can become a child of another class. That is here I'm going to create a class. Let's say class A. And inside this class, for example, I'll create a variable and method. Let's say int a is equal to 10, and here public void sample a, and I'll just write on one sample print statement instead of keeping the method empty inside sample a like this. Okay. Now there is a class. I'll create one more class. Right click new class. I'll just mention this as class B. Finish. And now what I will do is I'll try to make this class B a child of this class A by using extends keyword. We have to use extends keyword for making this class a child class of another class. Let's say class A. What happens? All the properties of this parent class, that is class A, will now be inherited by the class B. Even though I don't create variable A and sample A method inside this class B, if I try to create an object for the class B and try to access its members, I can access A and sample A by using the object reference of the class B, because class B is a child class of the class A. Okay, this is called as single level inheritance, where one class has become a child of another class. Okay, this is one variety. Now, what about the other variety where, the second combination is a class becoming a child of an interface? So for that, I'll create an interface, guys. Okay, right click interface. I'll just close this stuff. First of all, I'll just close these two items, class A and class B. Now, I'll show you the single level inheritance, how it is possible for a class becoming a child of an interface. Okay, for that, I'll create an interface, guys. I'll just name this as interface. Okay, C, let's say some random name I'm giving. So it's the interface C, and here I'm going to create a variable like C is equal to 25 and some method, public void, sample C method. Okay, so we have a variable and method inside this interface. Now I'm going to create a class. I'm going to create a class. I'll name this as some random name, let's say class D. And now, can I make this class D a child class of this particular interface? Is it possible to make this class a child class of this particular interface? Yes, guys. But here I should not be using extends keyword. Instead, I have to use implements keyword. Okay, if a particular class want to become a child class of an interface, we have to use implements keyword instead of the extends keyword. Interface C. And here we'll get an error because the unimplemented methods, unimplemented abstract methods of unimplemented abstract methods of this parent interface should be implemented in the child class. So once I implement that public void sample C, once I implement that, the error will go off. Okay, you see error is gone off. Okay, so a class can become a child class of an interface with the help of implements keyword. Okay, so this is also done. This is all single level inheritance where either a class is becoming a child class of another class or a class is becoming a child class of an interface. And there's one more combination that is possible where an interface can become a child of another interface. Okay, so that is also possible in single level inheritance where, right click new. Okay, class here interface, right? Interface. Already I created one interface, guys. Let's say interface C is one interface. Okay, already created. I'll create one more interface. Let's say interface interface D, let's say. Okay, some random name I'm giving. Now what I want to do is I want to make this particular interface a child interface of this interface. For that, I have to use which keyword, extends or implements. Here I have to use extends keyword, guys. For making an interface a child of another interface, we have to use extends keyword. Then it will be possible. Interface C. Okay. So what is the problem? Okay. The type interface cannot be the superclass of one. Okay, I created a class, guys. I thought it is an interface. I wrongly created. Let me delete that. I just gave the name as interface, but it is a class created. Let me create a proper interface. Interface C is there. I am going to create another interface, guys. Right click, new interface. I have to select interface, interface D. Finish. Now an interface is created. Earlier I created a class thinking that is an interface, but it's not. So I want to make this particular interface a child of this interface. For that, I should not be using implements keyword. I have to use extends keyword. Interface C. You see, error is gone. So an interface can become a child of another interface in Java, guys. Okay. So these three things are possible, guys. A class becoming a child of another class, class becoming a child of an interface becoming a child of an interface. But interface becoming a child of class is not possible. If you try to do so, it will give you a compiler error. So single level inheritance is possible only for these three combinations: a class becoming a child of another class, class becoming a child of an interface becoming a child of another interface. Okay. So hope guys, you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. What is a single level inheritance? In single level inheritance, there will be one child item which is inheriting the properties from the parent item. This is called a single level inheritance. And with examples and practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can a class inherit both class and interface at the same time in a Java program? The answer is yes. A single class can inherit from both a class and interface. That combination of inheriting from a class and interface by a child class is possible in Java, guys. Let me practically demonstrate this so that I can prove that this is possible in Java. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE. And here I'm going to create a new, already one class and interface is there, guys. I'll just open one class. Let's say class A. You can see there is a sample class. Inside this class, we have a, variable and method. Okay. This is a class. And similarly, we have an interface also ready. You can see that this is an interface. This interface also contains a variable and a method. Now I am going to create one more class. Okay. I would like to create one more class. I'll just say class X. Okay. Just say class X, finish. And what I want to do here is, let's say I'll just move this interface here. We have a class here, we have an interface here, and here we have a new class that I have just now created. I would like to make this class X a child of both this class and interface at the same time. Can I do that? Can I make this class a child of this class and interface at the same time? Yes, guys. First, I'll write extends class X extends class A. You see, class X has now become a child class of this parent class, class A. At same time, this class X can become a child of this interface C. Implements, I'll write implements interface C. Like this, I'll write. Okay. So now what happens? You see, I can make a particular class a child class of a class, and at same time, this class is a child class of this interface, both at the same time. I'm getting this error because in one of this parent things, for example, here class A is there, everything is implemented, variable is good and method is implemented. But coming to this parent interface, this method is unimplemented, is an abstract unimplemented in the parent interface. Once I implement that in the child class here, the error will go off. So if I write public void and sample C, right? The name of the method here in the interface is sample C. Once I implement that, the error will go off. You see, this proves that we can make a class a child of another class and interface at the same time. Okay. At the same time, a class can be a child of a parent class and interface. This proves that. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. Can a class inherit both class and interface at the same time in Java? The answer is yes, guys. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, when a class inherits both class and interface, in what order we should specify the extends and implements keywords in Java? Let me answer. Let's say there is a class. Okay, I want to make that particular class a child class of another class and an interface at the same time. Okay, single class becoming a child class of both a class and interface. Okay, that is possible in Java. But for this particular child class, we have to use extends keyword if I want to make this class a child class of another class. Whereas if I want to make this class a child of an interface, I have to use implements keyword. So in which order I have to specify if I want to make that particular class, that is child class, okay, of another parent class and parent interface. First I have to use extends in the class declaration or implements keyword. Okay, first I have to make this as a child class of a class or child class of an interface. Which comes first, class or interface, while making them as parent? I'm going to answer. First, we have to use extends, guys. Then we have to use implements keyword. Okay. First, this particular child class has to inherit from a parent class, and then we have to make this class a child of this interface next. Okay. First, extends will come, then implements we have to use. Okay. First, we have to make this class a child class of the class, and then we have to make this class a child class of the interface later. Okay. In the next step. So if not, if you don't do that, if you do this in a reverse way where you try to make this class a child class of an interface first, and then you try to make this class a child class of the class next, then you are going to get a compiler error, guys. Okay, that is not possible. The order in which you have to provide extends and implements keyword is first you have to provide extends keyword to make this class a child class of another class, and then you have to use implements keyword to make this class a child class of an interface. Otherwise, you are going to get a compiler error. Let me practically demonstrate and prove this for you. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and I'm going to create a new class. I'll just create a class. Let's say class M. Okay, class M. So in this class M, I'm going to create some variables and method. For example, int a is equal to some 9. And then I'll create a method that is public void sample M. Okay, then system.out.println. And here inside sample M. Okay, I'll just write down that. And now I'm going to create an interface, guys. I'm going to create an interface. I'll just name this as interface M, let's say. And here also, I'll just drag this this side for now. And here in this interface also, I'll create a variable int, let's say b is equal to 19. And then some method I'll create public void. Here I'll say sample. Okay, n or something. Okay, some different name I'll give. That's it. Sample n. What is the problem here? Okay, this is an interface I have to make. I have to write it as interface, right? Okay. Now it becomes an interface, guys. Okay. Here interface keyword. I created a class thinking that is an interface, but here interface I created now. Okay, this is an interface we have, and this is a class we have. That's it. Okay, we have a class and we have an interface. Okay, and in the class we have some sample variable and method. In the interface also we have a sample variable and method. And now I'm going to create another class, new class demo mn or something. I'll just give some random name and click on finish. And I'll just drag this side so that we can see this class having some variable and method, and an interface having some variable and method. Now I want to make this particular class a child of this class and a child of this interface. So first I'll use the extends keyword, extends, followed by class m, and at the same time implements. For interface, we have to use implements keyword, right? So I'm using implements. So I'll just drag this side so that we can see implements this interface, that is interface m. You see, you will not get any problem here, and this error you are getting because there is an unimplemented abstract method in the parent interface that you have to implement in the child class. Once I implement, the error will be gone. Public void sample n, if I implement, the error will be gone. You see, error is gone. Now you see, extends keyword came first and then implements keyword. That means this child class have to become this class has to become a child of the class first, then interface. If I try to change the order, for example, if I move this implements interface to the forward and extends class later, then you see you are going to get a compiler error here. This is not possible, guys. Okay. So for a class to become a child of a class and interface, first it has to become a child of a class, then interface. So extends keyword should come first, then implements keyword. Okay. Interfaces should be implemented next. First classes need to be extended, then interfaces need to be implemented. If you reverse that order, first if you try to make this class a child class of an interface, then a child class of a class, then it will not be possible, guys. Over the mouse, you'll get some kind of error, some syntax extends, comma expected and all. Why? Because you see, when you say implements, right, interface, you can have any number of interfaces. Okay, it's trying to treat this part as also as an interface. That is the reason it's better. Whatever the classes you want to make that as a parent class, right? You first use extends keyword, then implements, so that implements have the facility of adding any number of interfaces. But a child class can only be a child class of only one parent class, but a child class can be a child of multiple interfaces. That's the reason here we can put comma and we can write any number of interface names. That's okay. That's the reason extend should come first and then implement should come next. Okay. So that is the order, guys. So hope, guys, you got the answer for this question. When a class inherits both class and interface, in what order we should specify the extends and implements keyword. First, we have to specify the extends keyword. to inherit the class, and then we have to provide the implements keyword to inherit from an interface. Okay, if not, you are going to get a compiler error. I told you the reason also why we get that kind of compiler error in this session. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is multi-level inheritance in Java? Let me answer. In Java, there are different types of inheritance possible. Okay, they are single level inheritance where only one child item will be there, which will be a child of this parent item. Okay, whereas in multi-level, at multiple levels, the child and parents will be there. For example, this is a child whose parent is this, parent's parent is this one, and so on, or in the bottom, child's child or child's grandchild, and so on. Okay, this is multi-level inheritance. And coming to the hierarchical, here we have single parent and multiple children for the single parent. Okay, that is hierarchical. Then in multiple inheritance, we have multiple parents for a single child. Okay, a single child can have multiple parents. That is multiple inheritance. And coming to the hybrid, which is a combination of hierarchical and multiple, where okay, single parent for multiple children is possible, and single child for multiple parents is possible. This is hybrid. Okay, so now we are focusing on this multi-level inheritance. Okay, is it possible in Java or not? Yes, it is possible in Java, guys. For both classes and interfaces, we can implement multi-level inheritance where one item can be a child of another item, that item can be a child of another item, that item can be a child of another item. Okay, or in a reverse way, we can say this item can be a parent of this item can be a parent of this item can be parent of its child items. Okay, and so on. That is multi-level inheritance. Okay, it's possible in Java for both classes and interfaces. Okay, classes and interfaces in Java can inherit from parent, class, and interfaces at multi-levels, not single level, multi-levels. It is possible, guys, possible for classes and possible for interfaces also. Let me practically demonstrate for you. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and create a new class. Okay, I'll just name this as class 1, let's say class 1, finish, and I'm going to create a variable and method here. It's not required, but I'll do that. Okay, class A is equal to, I'll just say 1, and public void sample1 method I'll create. Just for the sample case, one sample print statement I'll write inside this. And here I'll write print out inside sample, inside sample one method. Okay, done. Then I'm going to create one more class. Let's say class 2, class 2. And here in this class 2, also I'll create, I'll just drag this side so that you can see both class 1 and class 2. I'll just create, here I'll make this, I'll just create some variable otherwise. Class 2b is equal to 2, I'll say, and then one method I'll create public void sample2. Okay. Then here I'll write system.out.println inside sample2 method. Okay, inside sample2 method. Okay, then I'll create one. Now what I want to do is I want to create one more class, that is class 3. Let's say class 3, and here the class 3 is created. I'll just drag it this side, and inside this class 3 also I'll say int c is equal to 3. Just some variable and some sample method. I'm going to create sample3 method. Okay, sample3 method. And here I'll write down system.out.println, and inside sample3 method. Okay. Now the next part is I'll create one more class. Okay, I'm creating multiple classes. Okay, like class 4, and here in the class 4, I'll just drag this side, and in the class 4 also I'll create a sample variable and method. Let's say int t is equal to 4, and there's some sample method, public void sample4 method. Okay, and inside this sample4 method, I'll create a print statement system.out.println inside sample4. Okay, like this I created some classes, guys. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to make this class 2 a child class of this class 1. So I'll say class 2 extends class 1. Okay, now class 2 is a child class of the class 1. Now I want to make the class 3 a child class of the class 2, but class 2 is already a child class of the class 1, but I want to make class 3 a child class of class 2. Can I do that? Extends class 2. You see, extends class 2. Class 3 has now become a child class of the class 2, but class 2 is a child class of the class 1. Now there is class 4. I would like to make the class 4 a child class of the class 3. So for that, I say extends class 4. Okay. Sorry, class 3. Extends class 3. Now what's happening? Class 4 is a child class of the class 3. Class 3 is a child class of the class 2. Class 2 is a child class of class 1, and so on. Okay. So like this we have, guys, okay, this is multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance is possible for classes where, okay, whereas class 4 is a child class of the class 3, class 3 is a child class of the class 2, class 2 is a child class of the class 1. So that means all these members of this class 1 are inherited by class 2. All these members of class 1 or class 2 are inherited by class 3. All the members of class 1, class 2, class 3 are inherited by class 4. Okay, like that. So this is what is multi-level inheritance for classes, guys. Similar thing I can do for interfaces. Let me show you how can I do it for interfaces. It's almost similar, guys, but just a different keyword and all, but almost same. Okay. So here I'll create an interface. I'll just name this interface as interface 1, let's say. Okay, some random name interface 1 I'm giving. And inside the interface, for example, I'll create a variable and method. Let's say int a is equal to 1. And here I'll create a method, public void sample1 method. So I created a variable and method inside the interface 1. I'll create one more interface. I'll just name this as interface 2, I'll say. So here in this interface also, I'll create a, okay, I'll just drag this here. In this interface also, I'll create a sample variable and method. Let's say int b is equal to 2 and public void sample2. Okay, like this, I'll create a variable and method. I'll create one more interface, right click new interface, and just I'll say interface 3. Okay, here also I'll create a variable and method. Just drag this, where is that 3? Just drag this here. And here also I'll create a variable and method int c is equal to 3, and I'll create a sample method, public void sample 3. Okay. Now I'll create one more interface. Let's say interface 4. You can create any number of interfaces, guys. No limit. And just for this example, I'm taking only 4, but you can create any number of interface 4. And I'll just drag this here. And now in this interface, I'll create a sample variable and method just for the sake. Then public void sample 4. Now what I want to do is I want to make this particular interface a child of interface 3. What I have to do, or else I'll do one thing. I want to make this interface 2 a child of this interface 1. So I'll do one thing. I'll say implements here. Okay, implements interface 1. Now interface, so what is the problem? Interface 2 implementing interface 1. Sorry, I have to use extends keyword, right? Sorry. A child inheriting the interface. If a child class is inheriting an interface, then only implements. Otherwise, interface inheriting another interface, extends keyword only, guys. I forgot it for a while. That's okay. So interface 2 extends interface. Okay. So interface 3 extends interface. We have to use extends keyword only for interface to interface connection. Okay. If you want to make an interface a child of another interface, you have to use extends keyword, guys. Okay. So 2, then interface 4 extends interface 3, like this. Okay. That means this interface is a child of this interface. This interface is a child of this interface. This interface is a child of this interface. Okay. Multi-level inheritance is possible, guys. That means all the members of the interface 1 are inherited by interface 2. All the members of interface 1 and interface 2 are inherited by interface 3. All the members of interface 1, interface 2, and interface 3 are inherited by interface 4. Okay. So that's what is the thing, guys. Okay. So hope you guys got the point. It's almost same as, classes. Whatever we have done with classes, the same thing, and same keyword we have to use for interface also. Okay. Like this, multiple other combinations will be there, but let's not complicate this. But multi-level inheritance is possible in Java, both for classes and interface, that I can say for now. Okay. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is hierarchical inheritance in Java? Let me answer. In Java, there are 5 types of inheritance which are possible. That is, first one is single level inheritance where only one child item for a parent item. Okay, this item is a child of this parent item, this item is a parent of this child item, only one level. Okay, this is single level inheritance. In multi-level inheritance, we have a parent for this child, and for this child there is another parent, and so on, so on, so on. Multiple levels. Okay, multiple levels, that is multi-level inheritance. And coming to the third variety, that is hierarchical inheritance, where multiple children have the same parent. Okay, multiple children inherit from the same parent. So this is hierarchical. Then we have multiple inheritance, where for a single child there are multiple parents. It's reverse of hierarchical, where here a single, here in this case in hierarchical, multiple children for the same parent. Okay, but here single child has multiple parents. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, in hybrid it's a combination of both hierarchical and multiple, where okay, multiple children for same parent, and uh, single child for single child having multiple parents. Okay, combination of both this hierarchical and multiple. Now let's focus on the hierarchical, guys. Okay, what is hierarchical inheritance in Java and how it is possible and all I'm going to cover where. Okay, there can be multiple child classes or interfaces implementing the same parent. The parent can be a class or interface again. Okay, so multiple children for the same parent is hierarchical. How that is possible? With practical demonstration, I'm going to show you. This kind of concept is multiple class or interfaces inheriting from same parent class or interface is called as hierarchical interface, and it's possible for both classes and interfaces in Java, guys. Let me show you that practically. For that, first I'll create a new class. I'll just name this class as class A. Okay, class A, finish. Let's say this class A has some variables and methods. I'll say int A is equal to some 9 and some method public void sample A method. And here I'll write a print statement saying system.out.println, and I'll simply say simple, say inside sample A method. Okay. So I created one class. I'll create two more classes. I'll just name them as, let's say class 1 is one class. Okay. Another class also I'll create. I'll just name this class as class 2, like this. Now, you see we have class A having some variables and methods, that's fine. And here we have class 1 and we have class 2 here. Okay. Now, what I want to do is, I would like to make this class A parent of this class 1. Okay. I want to make this class 1 a child class of the class A by writing extends keyword, extends class A. This is fine. You see, I can make this class 1 a child class of the class A. At same time, I can make this class 2 also a child class of this class A. Same class I would like to, okay? For this class also same parent class A. For this class also I would like to have the same parent, that is extends class A. You see, no problem. Java is allowing you without any compiler error, where multiple child classes can be child classes of the same parent class. It's possible, guys, okay? Individually, every child class is extending this parent class, okay? Hence, hierarchical inheritance is possible for classes in Java. I'll prove you the same thing for interfaces also. Okay, interfaces also it is possible, guys, where where in case of interface, I'll create a single interface, guys. For example, I'll just name this as interface A, finish, and in that interface, I'll create some variable and method. Int A is equal to some 9 and some method public void sample A. Like this, I'll create a variable and method. Now I'm going to create some classes. I'll just say class X is one class, and one more class I'll create, that is class Y. Let's say new class Y. Okay, you can finish. So I'll just drag this class X here and then class Y also here. Now we have an interface. I would like to make this class X a child class of this interface. For that, I have to use implements keyword. If a particular class want to become a child of an interface, I have to use implements keyword and interface A. I'll say. So this is a class only, right? Implements interface A. There is a spelling mistake. Okay, implements. Now there is an error coming. Why? Because this particular interface A has a kind of unimplemented abstract method, okay, which doesn't have any implementation. That if you implement in this child class, okay, of this particular interface, that error will go away. Public void, if I say public void sample A, and if I give the body for that method, that's all. Sample A, okay. I'll just write down system.out.println sample A implementation in child class class X. Okay, like this I'll write down. So I have implemented this unimplemented method of the parent interface in child class. Similarly, this class also can become a child class of the same parent interface using the same way, that is implements interface A. Again, the same error is coming. I have to implement that unimplemented method also here also. So public void sample A. Write down this one and simply write down system.out.println system.out.println sample A implemented in class Y. Okay, that's it. Like this. You see, there are multiple child classes for the same interface. You can create any number of child classes, and that every child class can implement this as a inherit from this parent interface, guys. Okay. So with interfaces also, this hierarchical inheritance is possible. Okay, where multiple child classes can be children of the single parent interface, or multiple child classes can be a child classes of the single parent class. Like that, hierarchical inheritance is possible in Java. Okay. So now hope you understood with practical demonstration what is hierarchical inheritance in Java, and for what classes and interfaces it is possible. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we pass arguments to Java main method in Eclipse IDE editor? The answer is yes. From Eclipse IDE editor, we can run a Java program and pass the arguments to the main method in the Java program. Okay? By using this run configurations, and we have to thereby go into the arguments tab where we have to pass the arguments, okay, for this main method in that Java program. So let me practically demonstrate so that you'll be able to understand the answer for this question in a better way. For that, I'll switch to the Eclipse IDE. In Eclipse IDE, I'm going to create a new class here. I'll just create a new class, say class B, okay. With main method, I'm auto-generating. Now, inside the class, we have a main method. Inside the class, we have this main method. I'm removing this comment which came by default. You see, this is one of the parameter which is declared with string array type. Okay. The main method in Java by default will contain the string of args. Okay. A parameter. And this will receive the arguments from the command line. But the question here is it possible to receive the arguments to this main method not from command line? From the same Eclipse IDE, it is possible to, So, in one of the previous questions, interview questions, I showed you how to pass the arguments to this main method, okay, using the command line. Java commands like Java, C, Java, and all those stuff, okay. From command line, we can pass the arguments. But is there any way in Eclipse IDE we can pass the arguments without using that command line commands? Is there any way from Eclipse IDE? The answer is yes, guys. So what I'll do is, inside the main method, I'll write some logic which will utilize these arguments and print them. Okay, whatever the arguments that are being passed, okay, while calling this main method, while running this main method, if you want to pass the arguments not from command line but from Eclipse IDE, whatever the arguments that Eclipse IDE is passing to this args parameter, I would like to utilize and print them here. For that, I'll write a for loop for each and every argument is of string type. String array means each and every argument is string type. So string arg, and just you can give anything here, arg, anything you want, colon, and the string array name from which arguments will be assigned. For every iteration, one argument out of this list of arguments will be assigned here. One for every argument, the for each loop will be iterated, and here I'll be printing the arg. That's it. Okay. So this is a simple program I have written, but now I don't want to use command line. Instead of Eclipse ID, I would like to use Eclipse ID instead of command line tool to pass the arguments. Is that possible? Okay, the question is all about, can we pass arguments to Java main method in Eclipse ID editor? Okay. So from using Eclipse ID editor functionality, can we pass the argument? Is a question. Okay. So can we pass arguments to Java main method in Eclipse ID editor? Okay. And I can extend this question, okay, without using command line. Okay. Without using command line. Okay. Without using command line. Okay. By using Eclipse editor features. Okay. Without using command lines. Okay. Using. Okay. Can we pass arguments to Java main method using Eclipse ID editor features and without using command line? Okay. If you want to the question to be more clear and precise, this is the way we can extend it. Okay. That's fine. Anyhow, we'll go to Eclipse ID where I have written the code, which utilizes this arguments being passed to this particular main method. Now, without using command line, how to use Eclipse ID features to pass the arguments to this particular parameter. So for that, I have to right click on this code and there is an option like run as option. Either you can right click on the code or you can right click on the file name. Anything is fine. Just right click and say run as. And here, instead of Java application, you just select run configurations. The moment you select run configurations, you will get this dialog, guys. Okay. Here main is there in the main tab. Make sure the project name is correct. Java interview questions is the project name. If it is not correct, if any other project name is you want to change, okay, if this particular file that you want to run or pass the arguments is in a different project, then you can browse that project here. And here we have to provide the class. Here class A is there, class B is there, class 1. Which class you want to pass the arguments to, okay? Just click on search and here you'll get the list. And here you see current one is class B from AB pack. So in this list you can find out, okay? You see class B from XPack is also there. Like many things are there. So whatever the class you want, you just search for here, guys. Okay. Or you can type here, you will get that. Okay. Class B. Let's say I'll type class B. I'll search for class B. Class B is from different packages. Okay. In this project. One is from AB pack. Another one is XPack, V pack, W pack. Current class B is in AB pack. So I'll select the AB pack and say okay. Now we have given the class and the project name. Now we have to go to the arguments. Second type arguments, and here we have to pass the arguments. We generally pass these arguments from command line, but here the question is all about, can we use Eclipse ID features to pass the arguments instead of this passing them from the command lines instead of ID editor features and all. So in this way, like to pass these arguments from Eclipse ID editor, you have to pass the arguments here. For example, I'll give Varun space, Arun space, Varun space, Arun. Three arguments I gave. Arun is first argument, second argument is Varun, Tarun is third argument. I'll simply say apply all these things I want to apply and say click on run, guys. The moment I click on run, you will see that Arun, Varun, Tarun got printed. That means whatever the arguments have passed have been stored into this string array, and this for each loop for string array will print each and every argument that is being passed. That is Arun, Varun, Tarun has been printed in the output console. Okay, using this print statement. So for loop has been iterated 3 times, and every time it iterated, it has printed one of the argument. Okay, so Arun, Varun, Tarun has been printed. So this proves that we can pass arguments to the Java main method, not only from the command line, but also using the Eclipse ID features, we can do that. Okay. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, how to find the size of an array in Java. Let me answer. In order to find the size of the array in Java, we have a predefined variable in Java known as length predefined variable. Using this length predefined variable, we can find the size of an array in Java. Let me practically demonstrate this one for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse ID. Here I'm going to create a new class. I'll just name this class as, let's say, class C with main method, etc. Once I create this class and inside the class, once I auto-generate this main method code in Eclipse ID, here I'm going to create an array. Let's say a sample integer array. I'll just name this array as A. And here I'll take the shortcut representation of the array. There are two representations of the array, like a new int of, you can give the size here, or other representation is a shortcut representation where you can directly assign the values a set of values to this array. Okay. Let's say 9, 5, 7, 1, 8, 4, 2, 6, 3. Like that, some values I gave. Now I want to find the size of this array. That means how to find the size or length of an array. To find the size of the array, that is to find how many elements are stored in this particular array variable, we have to use a predefined variable in Java known as length predefined variable with the arrays. With the help of this object reference of this array, we can use the length predefined variable to find how many elements are stored in this particular array. Okay, or to find the size of the array or the length of the array, we have to use length predefined variable. So I'll simply say a dot, a means array. The name of the array is a dot length. Length is a predefined variable in arrays. Okay, using this predefined variable of arrays, we can find the size of the array. So the length will return you an integer value, int size of array or length of array, whatever the variable name you want to give, and you print it out. System.out.println size of array. Using this length predefined variable, we are finding the size of the array. Let's run this and find out what is the size of this array that I have written or created here. So the size of the array is printed as 9, guys. Okay. The size of the array is 9. Let's find it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Total 9 elements are there in this array. That means the size of the array or the length of the array is 9. Using what I have find the size or length of the array? Using the length predefined variable of the arrays. Okay. Array name dot length, when you say, it will give you the size of the array or the length of the array in Java. Okay. So hope guys you got the answer for this question, how to find the size of an array in Java using the length predefined variable. Okay, by saying array name dot size. Okay, how to use this array name dot size. Sorry, dot length. Okay, dot length. Array name dot length. Okay, using this array name dot length predefined variable, we can find the size of the array. With practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is how to find the size of a string in Java. Let me answer. In order to find the size or length of a string in Java, we have to use this length predefined method. Okay. So using the object reference of the string dot length predefined method, when you call, it will return you the size of a string in Java. Let me practically demonstrate how to use this length predefined method of string class to find the size of a string. Okay. So for that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE. Here I'm going to create a new class. I'll just name this class as class D. With main method, I'll create. And here, I will write the code. I'll create a string str or string, let's say full name is equal to, I'll give my name, let's say Arun Motori. Now, I want to find the size of this particular string or length of this particular string. That means how many characters are there in this particular string text. To find that, we have a predefined method of the string class, okay? The string class in Java has a predefined method known as length predefined method. And using the object reference of the string class, I can call that method, okay? So if I want to find the size of the string, full name is a object reference of that particular string class, and I'll call the method predefined method of the string class using the object reference of the string class, that is length predefined method. Put a semicolon here. This length predefined method will return you the size of the string text here, okay? I'll simply say int size of name, okay? Size of name is equal to some variable name I'm giving, and I'll print it out. The value I'll print it out. System.out.println size of name, like this, okay? Now, when I run this code, what will happen is it will print the size of this string text, okay? So including spaces, it will count, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Including space, we counted. Total 12 characters are there, including spaces. The size of this particular string text is 12, guys, okay? 12 should be printed in the output. You see, we got 12 printed in the output, which is the size of this particular string, okay? So with practical demonstration, I have demonstrated and explained the answer for this question, that is how to find the size of a string in Java using the predefined method in the string class. Length is one of the predefined methods of the string class. Using that length predefined method of the string class, we can find the size of the string text with practical demonstration. I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is the difference between length predefined variable and length predefined method in Java? Let me answer. In Java, we can use this length predefined variable. Also, we can use length predefined method. But for what purpose and what is the difference between this usage of length predefined variable and length predefined method in Java? Let me explain. Okay. So in Java, there are two topics, guys. Okay. One concept is arrays concept. Okay. And other concept is strings concept. Okay. Strings. So if you want to find the size of the array or arrays, okay, then in Java, we use length predefined variable. Length predefined variable. Okay. Length is a predefined variable in Java using which we can find the size of the arrays. Okay. Or array. But coming to the strings, we don't have length predefined variable to find the size of the string. Rather, we have a length predefined method. Okay. Here, length is a predefined variable, but here, coming to the string class, if you want to find the size of the string text, length predefined method we have to find the size of the string text. We cannot use length predefined variable to find the size of the string text. Rather, we have to use length predefined method. Okay. Predefined method this is. Okay. To find the size of strings. So at a high level, if you have to answer this question, what is the difference between length and length predefined variable and length predefined method in Java? Okay. So I will just correct this question a bit. What is the difference between length predefined variable and length predefined method in Java? Using length predefined variable, we can find the size of the arrays. Whereas using the length predefined method, we can find the size of the string text or string class values. Okay. So let me practically demonstrate this one for you. Okay, one of them is a predefined variable. Length predefined method is a predefined method. And this length predefined variable is used to find the size of the arrays. That length predefined method is used to find the size of the string text. Okay, let me practically demonstrate. Further, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class here. I'll just name this class as class E with main method. Once I create that class with the main method, I'm going to, uh, you know, create an array. Okay, let's just, for example, let's say I'm creating an array. I'll give some array elements here. 9, 5, 9, 5, 7, okay, 1, 4, 3, 6. Like that, some values I entered. Okay, array elements I entered. I want to find the size of this array. That means how many elements are stored into this particular single variable array. I would like to find it out. Okay, for that, I have to use length predefined. Using the object reference of this array, which is A, the name of the object reference of this particular array is A dot, I have to call the length predefined, A dot length predefined variable, A dot length. Length is a predefined variable, which will return the size of the array in integer format, int size of A, I'll say, okay, size of A is equal to the size of A, okay, this is A. And I'll print it out, system.out.println size of array A is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 should be printed in the output. You should get 7 printed in the output because there are 7 elements in this array. So the size or length of the array is 7. So using what have found the size of the array? Using the length predefined variable, okay, of the arrays, we can find the size or length of the arrays. And coming to the length predefined method, we have to use with the string class, okay? String name is equal to, I'll give my name here, Arun Motori. I'll give my name, Arun Motori here. And now I would like to find the size of this, string. How to find the size of the string? Name dot. The object reference of this string class is a name class, name. Okay. The object reference of this object reference name of the string class is a name. I would like to find the size of this particular string value that is stored into this particular array. Then how to find? I have to simply say name dot length predefined method I have to call. Okay. Earlier I used length predefined variable to find the size of the array, but here in this case of string class, to find the string text size or length of the string text, how many characters are there, I have to use length predefined method. Okay. Instead of predefined variable, size of name, okay, is equal to I'll write and print it out. Okay. System.out.println size of name. What's the size here? I have to count. Manually, if I count without using the length predefined method, it will come something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including space. I have to count the space also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space, including space 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Total 12. 12 should be the size or length of the string text. 12, you see, 12 got printed. Number of elements that are there in the array are 7, whereas the number of characters, including the spaces that are there in this string name are 12, okay? So to find the size of the array, we use length predefined variables of the array. To find the size or length of the string text, okay, we have to use length predefined method of the string predefined class. This length predefined method belongs to the string predefined class in Java, okay? So hope guys, you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. So what is the difference between length and length predefined variable and length predefined method in Java? Using length predefined variable, we can find the size of the array. Using the length predefined method, we can find the size of the string text. Okay. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we overload final specified methods in child classes in Java? The answer is yes. In Java, the final specified methods created in the parent classes can be overloaded by their child classes. Overloading of such kind of final specified methods of parent classes can be done in the child classes without any problem in Java. Java will allow you that. But if you ask someone that can we override the final specified methods in the child classes of Java, then it will be no. Answer will be no when overriding comes into picture. But can you overload the final specified methods from the parent class into the child class? The answer is yes for overloading, but no for overriding. Let me practically demonstrate this one for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class here. I'll just create a new class. I'll just name this class as class P. Okay, click on finish. Inside this class, I'll create a method that is a public void sample method. Okay, and I'll just write a sample statement inside sample method. I'll write and I'll specify the final modifier before this method so that this method becomes a final method. And this final method is created inside the class P, one of the class P. Now I'll create one more class. I'll just name this class as class S, let's say. And I'll make this class S a child class of class P, like extends class P, I'll say. Okay. Now, in this child class of this class P, if I create the same method, public void sample as it is, you see, I'm getting an error. Why? Because you cannot override the method which is specified as final in the parent class. You see, this class S is now the child class of the class P, and class P parent class has already a method which is specified with final modifier. Such kind of final modifier methods cannot be overridden. The same duplicate method cannot be created in the child class, hence overriding is not possible. But what if I differentiate? You see, same duplicate method is there in the parent and child class is not possible. When the parent class method is a final specified method, this method cannot be overridden or duplicated in the child class. But what if I create one parameter here? Then the error will be resolved. No more, this particular method is no more a duplicate of this method. Why? Because though it has the same name as the parent class method, but the difference here is it has a different number of parameters. So this is overloading is, okay, method having the same name, but different number of parameters is called as overloading. Okay, so we can overload the final specified methods from the parent class into the child classes, but overriding is not possible, but overloading is possible. So hope guys, you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. Can we overload final specified methods in child classes in Java? The answer is yes. Overloading of final specified methods in the parent class into the child class is possible, whereas overriding of the final specified methods from the parent class into the child class is not possible. Overriding is not possible. Overloading is possible in such kind of final specified methods. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we overload final specified methods in child classes in Java? The answer is yes. In Java, the final specified methods created in the parent classes can be overloaded by their child classes. Overloading of such kind of final specified methods of parent classes can be done in the child classes without any problem in Java. Java will allow you that. But if you ask someone that can we override the final specified methods in the child classes of Java, then it will be no. Answer will be no when overriding comes into picture. But can you overload the final specified methods from the parent class into the child class? The answer is yes for overloading, but no for overriding. Let me practically demonstrate this one for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class here. I'll just create a new class. I'll just name this class as class P. Okay, click on finish. Inside this class, I'll create a method that is a public void sample method. Okay, and I'll just write a sample statement inside sample method. I'll write and I'll specify the final modifier before this method so that this method becomes a final method. And this final method is created inside the class P, one of the class P. Now I'll create one more class. I'll just name this class as class S, let's say. And I'll make this class S a child class of class P, like extends class P, I'll say. Okay. Now, in this child class of this class P, if I create the same method, public void sample as it is, you see, I'm getting an error. Why? Because you cannot override the method which is specified as final in the parent class. You see, this class S is now the child class of the class P, and class P parent class has already a method which is specified with final modifier. Such kind of final modifier methods cannot be overridden. The same duplicate method cannot be created in the child class, hence overriding is not possible. But what if I differentiate? You see, same duplicate method is there in the parent and child class, is not possible. When the parent class method is a final specified method, this method cannot be overridden or duplicated in the child class. But what if I create one parameter here? Then the error will be resolved. No more, this particular method is no more a duplicate of this method. Why? Because though it has the same name as the parent class method, but the difference here is it has a different number of parameters. So this is overloading is, okay, method having the same name, but different number of parameters is called as overloading. Okay, so we can overload the final specified methods from the parent class into the child classes, but overriding is not possible, but overloading is possible. So hope guys, you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. Can we overload final specified methods in child classes in Java? The answer is yes. Overloading of final specified methods in the parent class into the child class is possible, whereas overriding of the final specified methods from the parent class into the child class is not possible. Overriding is not possible. Overloading is possible in such kind of final specified methods. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what will happen when you print the array name directly in Java? Let me answer. In Java programs, when you print the array name directly, it will not print the array elements, okay, that are stored in that array. Array elements that are stored in the array will not be printed when you directly print the array name in Java. Then what will be printed when you print the array name directly, if not array elements? It will print the hash code representation of array object, okay? Hash code representation of array object that you will not understand, guys, okay? Some random code will be there that will be printed, which is nothing but an hash code representation of the array object. So instead of array elements, a hash code representation of that particular array's object will be printed in the output console. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE, and here I'll create a new class. I'll just name this class as class, let's say F. With main method I'll create, and inside this, I'll create an array. Okay, first I'll create an array. The name of the array I'm giving as AR, let's say. Okay, and here in the curly braces, I'll provide the array elements. 9, 1 or 7, 1, 5. Like this, I'll create or store some array elements into this particular array. Okay, this is a shortcut representation of the array. Whatever the representation of the array doesn't matter. But the question here is, what will happen if you directly print the name of the array? Okay, In the Java programs, if you directly print the name of the array here, what will happen? Will it print all these elements that are stored in this particular array? Like coming to the variables, whatever the value that is stored into the variable, if you print the variable, the value that is stored in the variable will be printed. But coming to the arrays, okay, it is storing multiple values into the array. And if you try to print this name of this array, it will not print all these elements, array elements that are stored in this array. Rather, it will print the hash code representation of this particular arrays object. Okay, run this code. Some random hash code representation of this array object will be printed. You see, it's not printing the 9715 array elements. Rather, it is printing the hash code representation of this particular, okay, array object. Like this kind of thing will be printed. Fine. So hope guys, you got the answer for this question. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we print the array elements without using loops or index in Java? The answer is yes. Without using the index, we can print all the array elements that are stored in the array at a go. How it is possible? By using something known as arrays predefined class, and we have to call a predefined method known as toString predefined method. Okay, arrays.toString. To that we have to pass the array name. It will print all the array elements without using the for loop or any other loop, or without using any index. We can print all the elements that are stored into the array by using this single line. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE. Here, I am going to create a new class. I'll just name this class as class G. With main method I'll create, and inside that main method I'll create an array, some random array. Let's say int AR. I am just giving the name of the array as AR, and in the curly braces, so AR is equal to, in the curly braces, I'll provide the values of the array like 9, 5, 1, 7. Okay, some 4 elements I stored into this. Now I want to print all these array elements without using any loops like for loop, etc., or without using any index like AR of 0, AR of 1. I should not be using to print these array elements. Directly, I want to print all the array elements without using the loops or index of the array. So for that, what I have to do is I have to take the help of something known as arrays class. Okay, so I'll just use a print statement. Inside the print statement, I'll write arrays class. You see, arrays dot to string. Arrays dot, I have to say to string. And in the to string, you just select something, and here to the to string, you pass this array, name of the array you pass. That's it. Okay, by writing this arrays dot to string AR, all the elements of the array will be printed at a go. Without using the index or without using the loops, we can print all the elements of the array by writing this line arrays.toString. We are converting the arrays to string and printing, guys. Simple words, okay? We are converting this array into string and then printing. Run this. And you see that all the array elements 9517 got printed in this square bracket in the output, okay? So this is a way to print all the elements of the array by using the array name without using index or without using loops. So instead we have to use arrays dot toString method of the arrays. And in that we have to pass the array name, which will convert the array into string, and then it will print in the output. Okay. So here array is getting converted into a string and then getting printed here in the output. Okay, like this. So hope guys you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is the quickest way to convert a single dimensional array to string in Java? Let me answer. In Java, the quickest way to convert a single dimensional array to string is by using arrays predefined class, and it has a predefined static method known as toString predefined method, arrays.toString, and to this method we have to pass the array name as an argument, And by doing that, the array will be converted into the string in the quickest way as possible in Java. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. Right, you can create a new class. I'll just name this class as class H. Okay, with main method I'll create. And inside this, I'll create an array. Okay, let's say an integer array, int AR. And I'll say some shortcut representation of the array I'll create here. 9, 5, 1, 7. Okay. So fine. Then AR. Then how to convert this array, which is AR array, into a string in the quickest way as possible. The single dimensional array, I want to convert it into string format. For that, we have to use a predefined class in Java known as arrays. Arrays is a predefined class in Java and it has a static method known as toString static method. You have to call that method, guys. Okay. Arrays.toString. Into this toString method, you have to pass that particular array. That's it. Once you pass this AR, which is array name, into this toString method of this arrays, this array will get converted into a string. You see, it got converted into a string, right? So here, the return type of this toString method is string. So I'll say SAR, string array, let's say, and I'll hold the mouse and say create local variable. The moment I select this option, the return type of the toString will be automatically declaring this SAR, okay, in Eclipse IDE. You see, string, the return type toString method is returning the string converted array to this particular variable thing. Okay, now just print it out, print SAR, and you will see that the array which got converted into string format will be printed. Okay, so this is a string formatted converted array. Okay, this is the quickest way to convert in a single dimensional array in Java into a string. Okay, so hope guys you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration in this session. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, explain toString method of arrays class in Java. Let me answer. In Java, we have a predefined class known as arrays class. And this arrays class is from java.util package. And if you go inside this arrays class in Java, this arrays class contains a lot of predefined static methods. One of such kind of method is toString method. There are other static methods in this arrays class also, but in this question, I have to explain about the toString method, which is one of the static methods of the arrays class. In order to call this method, I have to use the name of the class, like arrays.toString. I have to call this method. And into this toString, I have to pass an argument, which is nothing but an array. If you pass an array to this toString static method of this arrays class, what will happen? This toString method will convert that array into a string format. Okay, it will convert the array into string. How that will happen? I'm going to practically demonstrate in this session. So explain toString method of arrays class in Java. It converts an array to string in Java. Okay, the toString method will convert the passed array, provided array to the string in Java. Let me practically demonstrate. Further, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE. And here, I'm going to create a new class. I'll just name this class as class I. With main method, I'll create, finish. So after that, I'll, fine. I'll create an array, guys, first. Okay, integer array. Let's say you can create any type of array. Okay, I'm just creating an integer array. And in this, I'll provide some sample elements, 9, 5, 8, 7, let's say. And I have to convert this array to string format, okay, to demonstrate what is the purpose of toString methods, toString static method of arrays class. Arrays is a predefined class from java.util package in Java, and it has a lot of predefined static methods like toString, using which we can convert an array to a string, okay. So here I have to use a predefined class in Java known as arrays class. This arrays class we have to import this arrays class from java.util package. Okay, dot arrays. You can import this arrays class from java.util util package. Okay, java.util.arrays. Arrays is one of the predefined class in java.util package of Java, and it contains a lot of predefined methods. Lot of static methods are there, like toString, like that. Many methods are there, guys. Okay, not only toString, there are like binary search, compare, copy of, range, equals, fill, mismatch, parallel, lot of things, sort. Lot of predefined methods are there, predefined static methods are there. One such kind of method is toString method. And to this toString method, if I pass the array, okay, if I pass the array to this toString method, what will happen? The array will get converted into a string. You see, toString will convert this array and return the string SAR, string formatted array. Okay, in the string format, okay, we'll get that system.out.println. Now, if I print this out, SAR, it will print the string converted array in the output. So that's what is that's what is this toString static method of static predefined method of arrays predefined class is all about. It will print the array in the string format, converted array. Okay, array got converted into string and printed. Okay, so explain toString method of arrays class means you have to explain everything, guys. Like arrays is one of the predefined classes from java.util package, and it contains a lot of static methods, predefined static methods, where toString is one of them. And to this toString we can pass an array, and once you pass the array to this toString method, it will convert the array into a string. Okay, the array will get converted to string, and when you print it out, the array elements will be printed in the string format in the output console. Let I go. So hope, guys, you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye. Hello. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is the quickest way to sort array elements in ascending order in Java? Let me answer. In Java, we have a predefined class known as arrays class, and it has a lot of predefined static methods. One of such kind of method is sort static method. In order to call this method, we have to use arrays class. And since this is a static method, using the class name, we can call this method arrays.sort. And to this method, we have to pass the array name. After passing this array name to this sort predefined static method of the arrays class, all the elements in the array will be sorted in ascending order by default. Okay. So let me practically demonstrate how to use this sort predefined static method of arrays class, okay, to quickly sort array elements in ascending order in Java. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE for practical demonstration. I'll just create a new class, and I'll just name this class as class J. With main method, I'll first create an array, guys. Okay, I'll first create an array. So the array is all about integer array. AR is equal to 9, 5, 1, 7, 3, 8, 6, 2. Like that, some elements I created, guys. Okay. There are some in random order. You see, they are not in ascending order. For example, if you see this array, the elements are not in ascending order. They are in some elements are bigger, some elements are coming lower. You see, 2 is less than 6. It's not ascending order, as you can clearly see. So before converting this array, before sorting these array elements in ascending order, first I'll print all these array elements. Okay, how to print? We have a predefined class known as arrays class. Okay, I can simply write down the statement like this: system.out.println. Inside the println statement, I'll simply say arrays. Arrays is one of the predefined class in Java, which contains a lot of predefined static methods. One of such kind of method is toString, which will convert this array into string and print in the output console as it is. Okay, here 9517386 will be printed in the string format. Okay, I have to pass the array name here. So before sorting the elements in the array, I'm converting this array into string format and printing in the output console. So I have not sorted anything. Before sorting, as it is, the elements in the array will be printed in their created order or specified order only. Okay, but now what I want to do is using another predefined static method of this arrays class. Like toString is one of the predefined static method of arrays class. We have another predefined methods for arrays class, arrays dot sort. Sort is another. Okay, sort is another such kind of predefined static method of arrays class, to which I have to pass the array name. Okay, what will happen when I pass the array name to this sort predefined method of the arrays class? All the elements inside the array will be sorted. Okay, the moment I write this line, all the elements inside this array will be sorted in ascending order by default. Okay, this is one of the predefined static methods of arrays class from java.util package. Okay, where the sort predefined method on passing the array, it will sort all the array elements. Okay, now after sorting all the elements in this array, now I would like to print this array in string format. Again, what I have to do, system.out.println. I would again use arrays class, and there's another predefined method known as toString, and to that I have to pass the array name, in which the elements are sorted in ascending order with the help of sort static predefined method of arrays class. Now, if you print this array by converting into string format using println statement and all, in the output you will get the sorted array. Okay. After sorting, after this line 13, we should get the sorted array. You see, this is non-sorted array. 9, 5, 1, 7, 3, 8, 6, 2 is there. But here 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are coming. That means all the elements inside this original array are sorted here using the sort predefined static method of arrays class. And after sorting, when you convert that array into string format and print it like this, you see the sorted array is getting printed. So hope guys, with practical demonstration, you got the answer for this question. What is the quickest way to sort array elements in ascending order in Java? By using this sort static predefined method of arrays class from java.util package, by passing the array name to the sort predefined method, we can sort all the elements in this array in ascending order. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, how to convert primitive data type arrays to wrapper class type arrays in Java. Let me answer. Sometimes we have to use the primitive data type arrays in object-oriented format, that is wrapper class type format. So to convert that quickly in Java, we have one predefined static method in arrays predefined class from java.util package, that is arrays.stream. Stream is one of the predefined static methods of the arrays class from java.util package. So that if you pass this primitive data type and then club that with boxed method, and finally you try to use toArray to convert that into the associated wrapper class array type, it will get converted from the primitive data type array to the wrapper class object-oriented type array in quickest way. Let me practically demonstrate this for you so that you will be able to understand the answer for this question in a better way. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just name this class as class K with main method. First, I'll create a array by declaring that array with primitive data type like int, etc. Okay, I'll just create an array in primitive data type format. You see, integer array, primitive data type array, AR is equal to, I'll give some values 9, 5, 1, 7, some sample values. Okay, there's a primitive data type array. I want to convert this primitive data type declared array into a wrapper class or object oriented declared array. For that, what I have to do, I have to use arrays as a predefined class from java.util package. Okay, arrays is a predefined class from java.util package. It contains a lot of predefined static methods. So I have to use a static predefined methods from this arrays class known as stream. And to this, I have to pass this primitive data type array that I want to convert it into the object-oriented wrapper class type array. Okay. And after that, I have to combine that with boxed method. Okay. The moment I do that, boxed method is returning you stream integer kind of stuff. Okay. Now I have to convert that into toArray of which type? This primitive data type integer array, I want to convert it into the wrapper class type. So that is integer wrapper class array colon new. This is a syntax case. Okay. Put a semicolon and this will return you integer array. Integer. Okay. IAR I'll say otherwise. Okay. You see, I converted this same primitive data type array into a object oriented wrapper class type array using this statement. Okay, like this we have to write this. You have to remember this arrays.stream AR stream predefined static method along with the boxed method along with the toArray we have to use, and in that we have to pass the destined wrapper class array type with the new keyword, etc. Okay, once you do that, this array will be automatically and in a quick manner will be converted into the wrapper class type array. The same elements, each and every element will become object oriented type now. Okay, object elements. Okay, now that has been converted, guys. Okay, this is a way to convert, nothing much. Okay, so this is a way to convert. Okay, so I would like to print each and every element of this integer array. For that, you can use for loop or whatever it is, or you can use the same system.out.println arrays dot to string. You can convert into string and directly print. Okay, so wrapper class type you can pass. Okay, this IAR you can pass. It will print the array in the integer array format. Okay, the integer array format, integer wrapper array class format, will be converted into string and will be printed in the output console as it is. You see, it got printed. So this is a statement we have to write in Java. And this is the predefined static method of arrays class, using which we can convert the primitive data type arrays, and by mixing up with or appending that commands with box and to array, we can convert that into the respective wrapper class object oriented type arrays. Okay, and once you print it, you see array elements in the wrapper class object oriented type array got printed in the output console without any problem. So hope guys you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is how to sort the array elements in descending order in Java. Let me answer. So we have a predefined class in Java known as arrays class, and it contains a lot of predefined static methods. One such kind of method is sort method. Using this predefined sort method of arrays, there is a way to sort the array elements in descending order. Okay, how to do that and all? I'm going to explain step by step. First, if we have the array in primitive data type, okay, you have to convert that into the wrapper class type. Then only you can sort the array elements in descending order. Otherwise, you cannot sort. Okay. First thing is that if the array that you are passing, okay, if you want the array that you want to order the elements in descending order is in primitive data type format, then you have to convert that into the wrapper class object oriented type format. Okay. For that, you have to write this first line. Once that is done, after it got converted to the wrapper class object oriented type, then you have to write or use this line with the help of sort predefined static method of arrays class. Okay, we have to use reverse order of collections to sort these array elements in descending order. Okay, let me practically demonstrate how to use all these things in Java to sort the array elements in descending order. Okay, for that I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. Okay, so I'll just name this class as class L with main method. I'll create a normal array with primitive data type array, integer array AR is equal to, I'll give some values like 9, 5, 1, 7, 3, 8, 6, 4, like that, some different random values I'm giving. I want this array to be sorted in descending order, guys. Okay. So what I have to do to order the elements of this array in descending order, I cannot directly do that. Okay, because I have to convert this primitive data type array into object oriented type wrapper class type array. For that to happen, I have to use something known as arrays predefined class from java.util package dot. Okay, then we have to call one method. What is that method? I have to call stream. Okay, first I have to convert this primitive data type to wrapper class. For that, we have to use stream, and you have to pass this array, primitive data type array, and you have to append that with the dot boxed command, and after that you have to use to array method, and inside this to array method you have to pass the destined wrapper class. Okay, here int primitive data type wrapper class is there. The respective wrapper class we have is integer, right? Integer wrapper class colon new you have to say. Once you do that, this to array will return you integer array in the wrapper class format. Okay, integer array. Okay, WAR or IAR, whatever you want to write, you can write. Okay, so integer wrapper class object oriented array, it got converted from the primitive data type array to the object oriented wrapper class type array. Okay, now once that is done, what you have to do is Now you have to use this predefined class, arrays class from java.util package and call one method known as sort method. Okay, arrays.sort. To this sort method, you have to first pass the wrapper class array and comma, followed by you have to give this collections dot reverse order comparable. Okay, generally call this as reverse order. We call it as collections dot comparable. You say this as comparable, guys. Okay, compare which comparable? Reverse order comparable. We'll write collections dot reverse order. So by writing this comparable as a second argument after this wrapper class converted array, this sort method will sort these array elements in descending order. If you don't write this, the array elements will be ordered or sorted in ascending order by default. But if you specify the second argument where comparable you provide like collections dot reverse order, then all the elements in this array will be sorted in descending order, guys. Now let's print the array elements. To print the array elements, we can use arrays predefined class dot another static predefined method is there, that is toString. You have to convert that to toString and then print. Okay, just print this IAR where the elements got sorted in descending order using this comparable collections dot reverse order. Now run this code and see that the descending order sorted array will be printed 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. Okay, you see all the elements in this array, original array got converted to the wrapper class array and they got sorted here in descending order. Okay, they got sorted in descending order. This is how we have to write the code in Java to sort the array elements in descending order. So hope guys, you got the answer for this question with practical demonstration in this session. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what is the main disadvantage of arrays in Java? Let me answer. The main disadvantage of arrays in Java is arrays are fixed in size. When you create the array, there itself in the same statement, you have to specify the size of the array. While creating the array, you have to specify the size of the array and that size of the array is going to be fixed. Later statements in the program, we cannot modify that particular size or we cannot update or dynamically change the size of the array in the later steps of the program. While creating the array itself, we have to specify the size of the array and in the later steps, you cannot modify, update or dynamically change the size of the array. That's why we say arrays are fixed in size and this is a disadvantage of the arrays. Okay, the main disadvantage of the arrays is arrays are fixed in size. Let me practically demonstrate and prove you that for you. Further, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and here I'll create a new class. I'll just name this class as classium with main method. So I'm going to create an array here. Inside the main method, I'm going to create an array. While creating the array itself, I'm going to specify the size of the array. For example, if I specify the size of the array as 3, that means into this particular array, I can only store 3 elements because size of the array is 3. While creating the array itself, we have specified the size of the array and later we cannot update this size. No matter you do whatever, you cannot store more than 3 elements into this particular array. During the declaration of the array, whatever the size you mentioned, that many number of elements only you can store in this program. In the later steps, if you try to modify the size of the array, it won't be possible, guys. Okay. So what we have to do is AR of 0 is equal to 9, AR of 1 is equal to 5, AR of 2 is equal to 7. Okay, like the 3 elements I'll specify. Okay, so I can store up to 3 elements. If I try to store more than 3 elements into this particular array, I'm going to get an exception, guys. Okay, compiler error will not come, but an exception will come here. If I print out this array like arrays dot toString of, okay, arrays is a predefined class from java.util package. It has predefined static methods. Arrays predefined class has toString kind of predefined method, which will convert the array into a string. Okay. Now, if I try to print this array here, I have to pass this array that I want to convert into string and print it out. Okay. So array elements will be printed. That is 957 will be printed in the output. Okay, without any problem. But later, if you try to increase the size of this array, here 3 elements, done. But if I try to store more than 3 elements or, there is no means of, updating the size of this array, guys, or changing the size of this array or dynamically updating. You try to store any other element, okay, more than 3 elements, if you try to store into this array, you see Java compiler will not give you any error. But when you run the program, okay, but when you run the program at the line 17, you are going to get an exception as array index out of bounds exception, okay? You'll get an exception here saying array index out of bounds exception. You see 957 got printed firstly. And after that, when you try to assign fourth element, okay, which is not possible because you cannot change or update or modify the size of the array. Only 3 elements, up to 3 allowed. Fourth element, if you try, you will not get any compiler error. But when you run the program during the runtime, you will get an exception saying array index out of bounds exception you will get, okay? Array index out of bounds exception at the class, that 17th line, you got the exception, and remaining statements will not be executed because whenever an exception comes in Java, thus the program execution stops there itself and remaining code will not be executed. No matter how many statements are there after the statement giving an exception in Java, the runtime error in Java will not be executed, guys. This statement in this program, which he was trying to update the size of the array by trying to assign fourth element into this array, has failed this program by giving a runtime exception or runtime error known as array index out of bounds exception. Invalid 3 out of bounds for length 3. Only the size of the array is 3. You are trying to modify it, which is not possible. Because of that, you got a runtime error or exception known as array index out of bounds exception. Okay. So this program proves that we cannot modify or update or change the size of the array. Okay. Arrays are fixed in size. While creating itself, you have to specify the size of the array. And later in the program, if you try to increase the size or update the size or modify or dynamically change the size of the array, it won't be possible in Java. That is a major or main disadvantage of arrays in Java, guys. With practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello all. Welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, what will happen when you store more elements into the array than its specified size in Java? Let me answer. When you create an array in Java, you have to specify the size. That is, how many elements you can store into the array, you have to specify the size of the array. But in the Java program, if you try to store more elements into the array, which are behind its size or behind the capacity of the elements that array can store, behind the size or more elements than the size if you try to store into the array, Java will not give you any compiler error while writing the code. But when you run such kind of code where you are trying to store more elements which are bigger than the size of the array while creating, in such cases, while running the code, you'll get an runtime error. Okay, while running the code itself, you'll get the error. You'll not get the error while writing the code. No compiler error. But while running the code, in the output of the program, you'll get an error, which is called as a runtime error, or you can also call it as an exception. What type of exception we'll get? Array index out of bounds exception kind of runtime error or exception you will get. Okay. So the reason here is why you're getting such kind of runtime errors or exceptions in the output. Because if you try to store more elements than the specified size of the array, you'll get this exception, guys. Okay, this is what happens. The answer is you will get array index out of bounds exception if you try to store more elements into the array. Okay, instead of storing only the elements according to the created size, okay, or specified size while creating the array. If you try to store more elements, you'll get array index out of bounds exception. Let me practically demonstrate this for you. For that, I'll switch to Eclipse IDE and create a new class. I'll just name this class as class M or N, otherwise class N. Okay. Here, I'll try to create an array by specifying same size. Okay. While creating the array, I'll specify size of the array. That is how many elements you can store into the array. Int AR is equal to new int of 3, if I say. That means into this particular array, I can store a maximum of 3 elements. That's it. Okay. Only 3 elements I can store. So what I'll do is I'll simply say AR of 0 is equal to 1 or 9 otherwise. Okay. AR of 1 is equal to 5. Then AR of 2 is equal to 7. So already 3 elements I have stored into this array. But if I try to store more than these 3 elements, up to 3 elements, no problem, guys. Okay, you can store. But behind the 3 elements, behind the size of this array, if you try to store more elements, that is, if you try to store the 4th element by saying AR of 3 is equal to but try to say 8. Okay. This statement that is at line 12, you're going to get a runtime error. You see, Java compiler is not giving you any error while writing the code. You will not get any error. You see, no errors in this program. When I am writing this code, Java compiler is compiling this and there are no errors being displayed here because Java compiler will not detect such kind of errors. Okay. But when you run the code, this code will result in a runtime error. While running the code, while the code is running, you will get an error in the output. Okay. That error is nothing but array index out of bounds exception. It's a runtime error or exception known as array index. This is the exception you got, array index out of bounds exception. Why you are getting that? Index 3, you are trying to store into the fourth element. Index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 means fourth element. Okay, into the fourth element, you are trying to store fourth element into the array while the size of the array is only 3. Okay, because of which, okay, index 3 is out of bounds for length 3. But that means only up to index 2 is allowed. 0, 1, 2 is allowed. Okay. So if you try to store more than 3 elements into the array by adding the index 3 and all for the size of the array is 3, then this line at the 12th line, you got the exception, guys. You can see here clearly number 12. At 12th line, you got the exception. This line has resulted in an error, runtime error or exception known as array index out of bounds exception, which is the answer for this question. What will happen when you store more elements into the array than its size in Java? You'll get array index out of bounds exception. You will not get any compiler error. With practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye-bye.